my name is Blair. Today I'm going to be reviewing Scythe by Neal Schusterman along with Thunderhead, the sequel, and I only own the sequel, so I'll be holding this for a while. Neal Schusterman has created this new series and it is so good and it's getting so much hype, and so I read it and it was amazing. The Scythe series is about this world where humanity have conquered death. Everybody's immortal except for the Scythes, who are trained to kill people to keep the population down. Scythe is such a diverse, crazy ride, and just learning about what this world is so crazy. And we have two main characters, Citra and Rowan, and they are apprentices to a Scythe. And then in the second book, I can't really tell you much, but it's a continuation of the story, so don't worry, the characters are still there. It's not some other perspective we don't care about. Non-spoilery notes that I can tell you is that Neal's writing is so beautiful. It's so easy to read. Like, I read Thunderhead, which is like twice the size of Scythe, in under 24 hours, and I just couldn't stop. It's like watching a movie. It's so beautiful. I loved the introduction of our main characters and how we kind of got a taste of their normal lives before they became Scythes. And then I also thought the world was just crazy, how normalized the Scythe world was. And that's about it on the non-spoilery. I really recommend picking up this series. I also heard the audiobooks are phenomenal, so if you are more of an audiobook person, then definitely pick those up. If you have not read the Scythe series, I do recommend leaving, so thank you, bye! This book I was not so sure about. I didn't know. I'm not really good with, I have to kind of test the waters, because if it's a world that's very close to our own, then I kind of get pulled into it and I can't pull myself out. This book is just crazy. There's so many parallels to religion, and it's just such a mind-boggling world. At the beginning we figure out who our villain is, and that's Goddard, and they do these mass gleanings. They kill all these fucking people, and I thought, okay, so is this bad? Like, in this world, is this bad? And then I kind of related it to our world, where death comes in these different forms. There's cancer, where you find out you have a month to live, and you get this period of time where you get to kind of, tie everything up. And then there's accidents where you don't get any warning. And then, of course, there's mass shootings every fucking day now. So I felt like this novel was just so timed perfectly with what is going on in our world right now. The one scene where they were killing all of the tech people in that building, do you remember that, Kevin? I remember during that scene I was just thinking, literally, this is happening in our world, and it's normalized in their world, but it's totally not in ours, and it just blew my mind. Okay, when Faraday died, okay, let's bring this up for a second. I was like, he can't be dead. And then we figure out he's not dead, and I'm like, I knew that. And then we figure out that Curie and him totally were like hooking up. Scythes can fall in love, and I was so here for that. And I was so happy that there was some romance in this book. I loved how our two main characters, Rowan was so kick-ass, he was so cool, and then Citra, still cool, but just so smart. They both have such different personalities. I wanted both of them to be Scythes. They both had the capabilities to be Scythes, and I was ready for it. I knew that Citra was gonna get it in the end, because we needed a villain, we needed something going on. My notes I wrote, I already need the second one, and I'm not even done with this one. So true. I was so surprised when Citra went with Curie and then Rowan went with Goddard. I was reading the sentence where Curie saved Citra, and then I was like, no, Rowan's going with Goddard. Even before I read the rest of the sentence, I was like, I know what's happening. I know what's gonna happen. And I was screaming. I literally was freaking out. I mean, he's such a good villain. Goddard is such a good villain. One thing that I thought was random was Tiger, our best friend of Rowan. He was a fine character, but I was like, okay, we don't need him to come back. I just felt it was unnecessary. Goddard was like threatening Tiger, and why don't you just threaten his family? Like, I don't understand. I mean, I know they have immunity, but at the same time, like, you can still threaten them because they won't have immunity forever, and Tiger was just random. He was just this random person. And then Citra's name, Anastasia, such a perfect name, such a beautiful Scythe name, and then she punches Rowan, and so he has immunity, and he goes and gets in the car with Faraday, and yes, Faraday, love him. And I loved the different segments of the different journals of the different sides. That was such a cool part of the book that we got to kind of get into the head of different sides, not Rowan and Citra. And then also we get some of the Thunderhead, which is just so cool, and I will talk more about the Thunderhead in the Thunderhead review. So yes, I'm now going to talk about Thunderhead. I love Scythe, 5 out of 5 stars, absolutely perfect. Now Thunderhead is a continuation, and if you haven't read Thunderhead, then you should leave. It's so good. Like, pick it up now. If you, like, I'm surprised if you've read Scythe if you haven't read Thunderhead yet. You can't not need it immediately. So goodbye, spoiler people. Goodbye. First thing I wrote was how much I loved how Anastasia gleans. She gives people 30 days. If you just cancel, you get 30 days to kind of wrap up everything in your life. And then Rowan's Lucifer, and they're on the cover, the black robe and the teal robe and their faces. And then Faraday's just on his own little trip off with the random librarian. I was like, what's happening? I need the third book to figure this out. And then Grayson, I did not like his perspective. I knew it was necessary, and I know he's probably going to be in the third book, but it was just like, what? Citra, Rowan, I need them. I need Citra and Rowan, please. I knew about halfway through that the Thunderhead was going to start falling apart because it is an AI and it can't feel things. But we were starting to get these feelings, and I loved Poland Banana's books. Her review, she talked about how the Thunderhead was another version of God, and I loved that idea because it's so like, I see all the connections now that she mentioned that. And then Goddard's back. Literally, that blew my mind. He was just a head, and then he got, you know, sewed onto another body, and then Citra, like, demands that they bring it to the High Blades. And I'm like, yes. And the tonus with Grayson, what? And the theater when the acid and Grayson saved everyone. I mean, it was just like so much was happening at once. Now I'm remembering all these things that happened. And the inquest. Let's talk about the inquest for a second. They go to the, what is it? The island of Endura. They go to this floating island, and there's these, like, the highest people of the Scythedom that are in charge of everything, and they're so scary, and Goddard's being an ass to them. Just kill him. He can be gleaned. Just glean him, please. And then Citra and Curie come up, and Curie wins the inquest, and I was so happy, but then it's Titanic. It's literally Titanic up in here, and the whole island is sinking with all these people, and the Thunderhead can't help them because the Thunderhead cannot conflict with Scythe laws. This camera, this Thunderhead is watching millions of people die because the fish are being reprogrammed to attack? What? Like, this is crazy. Oh my god, it's so good and I can't handle it. And then the Grand Slayers all die. And Goddard just flies his helicopter like, I can help you, and then just leaves. How can this be okay? I know the Thunderhead's somehow gonna, like, find a loophole and hopefully try to save everyone. And then Curie puts Citra and Rowan into a safe to hopefully be found someday. I think Xenocrates is totally coming back because he drowned, but he can totally be saved because all of the fish are not attacking him, so his body can come back, and Citra and Rowan's is probably just gonna be stuffed down at the bottom of the ocean so they can come back, and the Thunderhead knows where they are. At first, I thought that the Thunderhead was sinking everybody. I thought the Thunderhead was cleansing the earth of the Scythes. I thought that's what was happening, and then freaking Goddard, just ruining everything. It broke my heart when Curie died, because this whole time she's just like this amazing, like, female empowered woman taking on the Scythedom, and I wanted her to win. I wanted her to be the new Highblade, and then she looks around at all these people dying by like sharks and stingrays, and she decides to help them pass on, and it's just so sad. And then she dies, and I was crying the whole time. It was just a rough time. And then where did Faraday go? I thought he was on the island.
No, they were going to the other place.
They went to another place?
Yeah, the place where like the map was like, there was like a spot on the map that was...
I thought they were on the island.
No, they're going to like the island, the land of
Nod. Just, Grayson is fine. It's just, I wanted Citra and Rowan to be there. Like, I wanted to see their perspectives. I missed them. And then Grayson just, like, chapter after chapter of his character development. And I was like, I don't care. I just want Rowan and Citra. That's it. But it was really good. 5 out of 5 stars. It was absolutely amazing. And I need the Toll right now. But, you know, it's not coming out for, like, another year. Of course not. Neal Schusterman, please. Thank you. Thank you very much. Just come out with a 3rd book right now. I know you're on tour. I know, but just write it quick. So yes, those are my thoughts on Scythe and Thunderhead. If you are all the way at the end of this video, then you've read both of them. If you have any thoughts, comment them below. Oh my gosh, like, such a good series, and I've been on a fantasy kick for the past month, and I need more recommendations. I need more fantasy, so if you could just comment below any suggestions, that would be appreciated. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye! And then there's accidents. Thanks, Kevin. Thanks, Kevin.
I don't know why.